up, and now you're gonna see. Oh, and he closes his eyes, by the way, as you can see here. Alright, welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing Film Analysis. This is your host, Mr. BDA, and I'm glad that everybody could be on board for this one. In this episode, we're going to be focusing on the upcoming Tyson Fury vs. Deontay Wilder rematch, which will be taking place on February the 22nd in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is for the lineal Ring Magazine Championship, so there's a lot at stake for that one. Especially after the controversy of the first fight, man, a lot of people are going to be keeping their eyes on this one. Now, the common sense tells you that the only way Fury can win this one is through a decision, if the judges get it right this time, and that the only way that Wilder can win it is through a knockout. But I do believe that Tyson Fury can possibly score a knockout, possibly, or at the very least, earn himself a better decision, or more comprehensive victory if he starts mixing up his shots. So without further ado, let me show you how he can do that. Alright, so in the first fight, Tyson Fury was landing good right hands, especially near the end of the fight. That's when he really started finding his range and letting his right hands go. The reason why I believe he didn't want to let those right hands go way too much early on was because A, it's not that easy to hit Wilder, and B, he was very hesitant, Fury that is, of the power that Wilder displayed. But late in the fight, he started landing those right hands. Now, if he wants to continue landing the right hand and landing harder right hands, he's going to have to mix in his shots a little bit better. One way to do that is to throw more left hooks. But also, to that point, I believe that the left hook is the weapon that can cause a lot of damage. How is he going to do that? Well, take a look at this. Tyson Fury, every time he feints, Deontay Wilder reacts. That's the way Deontay Wilder is wired. He's very jittery. Another point here is that most of the time, whenever Fury either feinted or jabbed, Wilder did this. He leans back. He's very used to doing this. And so far, nobody or very few people have been able to capitalize on it. But it's a mistake. It's something that you're not supposed to do, pulling right back like as there. And I'm going to show you why I think this could pay dividends. Now, the second way Wilder reacts to punches, to feints, or to jabs in this specific case, he covers up. And now you're going to see... Oh, and he closes his eyes, by the way, as you can see here. So that's how Fury is going to be able to set up the left hooks. And from those left hooks, perhaps even bigger right hands, if the left hook doesn't do the job. But here you just... to drive home the point a little bit more, how Deontay Wilder reacts most of the time leaning back. Now that was a bad one. Look at this. See how, and he does it with his hands down too. Now normally, I know some of you guys are going to say, well, I mean, you can lean back, right? What about Floyd Mayweather? Oh, you mean the guy that's one in a million? Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest of all time? You can break the rules, but first you have to master the rules before you can do stuff like this. And I mean, look at him, he's getting... And that's the problem with leaning back. Once you're leaning back, especially with your hands down, chin up in the air, you're liable to get knocked out. But the second problem is there's nowhere to go afterwards other than backwards even more. I mean, that puts strain, that strains the back, let me tell you. So I'm just driving home. Okay, so now here's what happens. When you have somebody in this position, you can either shoot the right hand, but Fury, for some reason, didn't really seem to go for strong right hands in this fight. He was landing with the right hand, but he wasn't putting mustard on it. So what do you do if a guy goes like that and leans back like Wilder is? Or does, rather? Look at that, left hooks. But Fury doesn't put his weight onto it. See how he stops midway through the shot? He's not turning that body fully. He could have turned a little bit more there and maybe tighten up the arm positioning a little bit better. But he did catch Wilder there. Look at this. Because look at Wilder. Hands down. Well, even the right hand, he puts it up, but it's in an awful position. He gets slapped with that shot. But again, it's just a slap. He can take that. Deontay Wilder's chin is not as bad as people make it out to be, by the way. But look at this again. He's been eating... This is the 8th round, so he's been eating jabs at this point. Wilder has. So he's expecting the jab. But look at how Fury... He pulls the arm down, as he's often been doing before throwing the jab. And now Fury leans back, expecting a jab. Boom. Gets caught, slapped rather. He tries to come back with a jab himself. Now, I'm showing you Anderson Silva, the way he got caught against Chris Weidman. Now, you might be thinking, why are you showing us an MMA example? Well, because there's nobody at the high level who does this pulling back. The only guy is Deontay Wilder. And that's because he's been able to get away with it so far. I mean, most top guys will never do this or as awkwardly as he does. And he's been able to get away with this because of two things. One, I'm giving Wilder credit here in case you think I'm being overly critical. he's been able to get away with it because he knows a little bit of what he's doing. I mean, at least he knows that whenever somebody jabs 2 times, see how he dips down and he's expecting the right hand, and he's expecting to pull up so that the right hand whizzes by him. So there's a little bit of a method to his madness. But the second reason why he's been able to get away with it is because he's taller than most guys and he's got pretty good reflexes, as we're going to see in another video. But he's liable, like I said, to get caught just like Whiteman caught Silva, because when you're doing this, you got nowhere else to go but down if a guy catches you correctly. So that lead left hook from Wilder is something, I mean from Fury, is something like that he's going to be able to do. Now I showed you before also how Wilder reacts to feints. Either he leans back, or to jabs also. Either he leans back or he puts his hands up. But look at the big gap. He's expecting a right hand or a jab. That's why he's putting his hands up. But first of all, here in the middle, as you can see, there's a big gap. And on the side as well. Here. That's why he gets cracked like that on the jaw. But again, look at Tyson Fury. He's just essentially slapping. He's not turning onto the shot. He's more worried about hitting and getting out of the way. But that left hook seemed to stun Wilder there. That was the last round. They're both tired, so they can't react to punches the same way as they could. This is how you knock somebody out. This is how you turn, by the way. Lead left hook. Look at how this Johnny Gonzalez against Abner Maris. First of all, he's feinting with the right hand. And then he swings that, but he's putting his weight into it. Some torque in there, twisting the body. And he set it up with jabs to the body, by the way. So that's how he made Maris drop that right hand. But that's how you're supposed to turn a lead left hook. And it's hard to do this. It's hard to knock somebody out with a lead left hook, but it can be done. It can be done. Or also, we're not just talking knockout here, we're talking scoring points. Most people are afraid of trading with Wilder. Most people are afraid of punching with him because of the power. But let me tell you, it's the best way. It's the best time to catch him. Because if you're just standing in front of him like Luis Ortiz did in the rematch, just trying to move your hand or just trying to cover up, he's gonna hit you on the temple and he's gonna knock you out, or he's gonna hurt you. Right? And if you're moving all the time, well then you're making him miss, but you're not scoring points. It's when he does this. First of all, he's telegraphing his shot. And look at this, he drops his right hand. He's wide open. Look at that. That's when people say bad technique. People say, well, Deontay Wilder's been winning. He's been knocking people out. Yeah, but when is that? I mean, at some point it's going to catch up with him, and it should have caught up with him in the first Tyson Fury fight. He got a draw there. But look at this. This is what Fury has to do. He needs to counter. Again, half-assed left hook. It's a slap. Look at that. The arm isn't even cocked ready for a hook. It's not tight. It's not in an L position. It's just a straight slap. And he could have done some major damage. Look at Wilder with the right hand down. Wilder needs to tighten that shit up too. Or this is something else that Fury can do. Beautiful move here, ducking under the right hand. Wilder's chasing him because this is after the first knockdown. He's smelling blood, but Fury switches stances and catches him coming in with a beautiful compact left, and he staggered Deontay Wilder right there. Another little counter, but again, look at that. I mean, that's just awful technique from Wilder with Fury from those left hooks. He needs to tighten up that left hook. So guys, let us know what we got right, what we got wrong. Don't forget to like, subscribe to BDA, also our main channel where we have our podcasts. And let's hope for the fight. I want to see some comments too. I want to see some predictions. Let us know who you have in this rematch, and we'll catch you in the next one, folks. Thank you for watching, and take it easy.